Okay, welcome class. This is my first ever recording for a class, so be patient with me. I'll be learning the ropes as I'm going along. For this video, we are going to be working on our first shell scripts. We're going to be covering shell script basics, using variables, reading user input, and doing conditional statements like if, else, and case. So, without further ado, I'm going to switch over from using this video to just doing our main Kali Linux. Let's get to it. So, one of the first things you have to do in order to start building a bash script is you have to have some kind of word processor. And in my case, I am actually going to use Nano. So we start in, and what's the very first thing that we do in our processor to make it known that this is a bash script? Yep, I heard it. Yeah, it's shebang, right? So, shebang bin bash. And with that, we're telling the system that whenever it runs this script, it has to run it with the bash interpreter. There's another one that you could do if you did it with Z shell. I'm not even going to go in there. Right now, we're just going to stick with bash. And our very first one in every programming language is what? Yes, hello world. I'm not going to break the tradition, so let's do echo hello world. And there we go. Now we have to save that, and in Nano, if that's what you're using, you do Control X, says do you want to save that buffer, yes or no? Yes, I do. What do I want it to be? I want it to be hello underscore world, and I am going to put .sh. I think this is a good habit for everyone to get into, to always put .sh after your scripts so you know that that is a shell script. And the system knows that it is a shell script. So I will save that in there. And if we do an ls, we see we've got a file here called hello underscore world.sh. But if you notice, it looks just like all of our other text files. So how do we go about making it an actual executable file? I'm pretty sure I heard it out there somewhere. Yes, we have to chmod it, and we do it like that. We change or modify it to add an executable flag to it and say to the hello world sh. Whoa, what did I just hit? Let's clear that, shall we? I'm not exactly sure what happened there. Let's ls, and now we can see that our hello world is now an executable file. And if we say bash, which is telling go ahead bash, do your thing on the hello underscore world sh, we see that we get our script and it runs. It echoed out hello world. You have just created your first successful bash script, and it's an executable script. Okay, so now that we've run our very first shell script, let's go ahead and move on to doing variables. we got to get back into Nano. And I'm going to be doing that with a new line or a new file. And once again, our very first piece is shebang. Shebang. I'm going to start with that. And we're going to create a variable. Let's create the name variable. And we're going to create Alice. Okay. Just for clarity's sake. And we're going to echo hello name. And that's our script for now, just to check that our variable is working. So let's save that. Yep, we want to save it. And we're going to save it as name.sh. Okay? So now we know we've got name.sh. Let's go ahead and chmod that, but we're going to do it as name.sh. We've got that to execute. Let's try our second way of launching that executable. Hello, Alice. So our variable of name actually did work. Okay. Now let's go ahead and nano again. And this time we're going to do let's see. Whoops, that's not what I meant it to do. Okay, this one's going to be a little different because we're not going to actually declare what our variable is. In our last example, we did name equals Alice, right? This one, we aren't going to declare it. But it will know because the system already has it in there. It already has this particular variable is already known to your system. Okay? So let's go ahead and save that. We're going to say yes. And we're going to say that it's home.sh. We're going to do that. We're going to chmod ho. We're going to change that just so we know. Yes, it's there. We're going to do our second way of doing that. And we're going to run it. Why did it try to do it Z shell when I told it bash shell? Oh, you know why? Because Kali's default shell is not bash. Its default shell is Z shell. So there's a way we can fix this. Let's go back into our nano and we're going to nano home.sh. And instead of doing this, we're going to tell it to do it specifically with Z shell. Yes, we're going to save it that way. Now if we do that, Still doesn't want to. Okay, so another way to do that is we actually call for Z shell. Whoop. We're going to do Z shell, and we're actually asking Z shell to interpret that particular one. And there we go. Your home directory is home/Kali. Okay. See, there's always stuff to have to go and look for. So let's open up our home one again. We're actually going to completely modify that one. So we're going to go into that. I am going to go back to bash. And now we're going to take all this stuff out. And let's do my variable, which equals Linux shell. And we want to echo my variable is my underscore my var, the one we just created. Oh, I almost forgot the end, which is why it wasn't working that way. So let's execute. Yes, want to keep it as that. And if we go ahead and run that, it did it to us again because it's Z shell. And how did we do that in Z shell? We did it that way. My variable is Linux shell.